Hello and welcome back to Alex Goes Sailing. As you can see, the wind has picked up a little bit. Got about 20 knots and I'm planning to leave Cowshot, which is right here. You can see the castle over there. And I'm going to try and head to Newton's Creek. Now the wind is coming exactly from where we want to go, so I'm probably going to have to motor a lot of it. But we'll be able to get our head sail out to try and get across the channel. I think it's the plan. The tide is going against us a little bit as well. But I want to get to Newton's Creek because for tomorrow, it should be a lovely day to sail all the way back to Hayling Island to pick up the crew for the Round the Island race. Now that sail should largely be on a beam, so we should get some decent speed and the tide will be with us for tomorrow. But we're going to head to Newton's Creek and we're going to do some boat projects to get the boat ready for the race. And that also includes setting up the Raymarine plotter for the race to have the start line, the starting boxes, and the route that I want to roughly take and things like that. We also have some jobs to do. Main ones are changing some of the bolts that actually bolt the hammers to the hull itself, because I've been meaning to do that. It's just a time-consuming process. We've done most of the ones on this back quarter here, but we've got the other 3 to do. So I'm going to try and do that. And apart from that, I'm going to tidy up some of the other bits and bobs and just organise the boat. Now for the race, we have 2 crew members coming. We've got Dan, which you've seen before, and we've got a new person, Nikita. Neither of them have ever sailed really, apart from Dan when he sailed with me 2 times before. So one with the gang of friends that I took out on Maracay, and then Nikita never been out with me, so he's going to be learning the ropes on the Round the Island race, so a novice. But it's going to be a bunch of fun. I'm not taking the race very seriously, it is just for fun and it's going to be a great time. The weather's looking pretty good, nice consistent wind, not too heavy and not coming directly down the channel, so we won't have to do too many tacks getting out, and should be a nice asymmetric Spinnaker runs for the downwinds, I think. And then back up to the finish line, which I don't think I'll be able to get the screecher up for, so we might have to do it traditionally with a Genoa. But the race is looking good at the minute, and hopefully I don't come across any massive waves in this thing. But anyway, that's the plan for the rest of the week and get the race done on Saturday. So I'm about to set up and get out of here. I'm going to drop the outboard in, pull the anchor, I'm going to motor around the corner. It's massively choppy, I'm just going to motor it most of the way. It's not too bad, I'll try and sail some of it, but we're going dead into wind against current, so we'll have to see. But it's only just over the channel to Newton's Creek. Right, made it. You can see, been an hour since I got in, dropped anchor in the main channel, and as you can see, the clouds are rolling in. We're meant to get little showers tonight, but nothing too crazy. All right, it's the next day, still anchored, Newton's Creek. I've done a few bits and bobs. I changed Some of the bolts, these ones are too tight to undo, so I'm quite happy with those. Those ones can't really get to. One's underneath there, I changed. When I get back to Hailing Island, I'm actually going to do the ones up front there. And then any others I can get to. I haven't done the one at the back here, but it's quite tight. So if you notice here, and the gap there, if I come over to the other side, oh, over here, look at that tolerance, look at that tolerance. And then when I was actually changing these bolts over, you could see how the holes have elongated, just from where it's been too loose and then sliding across. So that had to get taken off, re-glass that top side, and then re-bolt them all in. These are the new lifelines, little clips there, run down to the back, nice and tidy. Right, I'm gonna get the anchor hoisted. There is little to no wind. I can barely feel it. There's people up with sails. Seems like their motor's sailing though, but we'll see. I haven't put the screech up. It would be a good idea to put it up, but I'm just gonna get out there and see what it's like, because I might have to end up motoring the whole way across. But let's get everything on. Right, outboard's ripping still. The wind is basically completely dead. Don't know if you can see, you got a wind thing, it's just spinning, doing loop-de-loops. Barely turning up there. And I mean, we're doing 7.5 knots over ground, as you can see. So doing pretty good. You can see we're coming up to Cowes. You can see the current is going with us all the way to Hailing. When we get to Hailing, we are gonna stop at Wilson's. I'm gonna unload all of the unnecessary rubbish off of the boat, give it a tidy up, fill the tanks with water, and then I'm gonna head over to Emsworth, pick up Dan, and then on Friday morning we're gonna sail over to Cowes, and then Nikita's gonna join us in Cowes, and then we should be good for the race day. While I'm on the water, I've just sorted out the furling system at the front, because the actual furling line, when it goes all the way out, it gets stuck because there's a bit too much line going into it. So I've reduced that, so that should help with that. All the sheets are good. Mainsail is good for now. It needs a little bit of work. But what I'm actually going to do now is faff around with some of the fenders. I'm just going to check lengths and stuff and see roughly if they're all going to work on there. I know I need to add some rope to some of the bigger fenders, because when we get to Cowes for the night before, we might have to raft up, so we'll have to see. Luckily I've got enough fenders to do all sides, but I need to make sure they have ropes and that the ropes are long enough. So yeah, right, finally have some sailing going on, and I've got it wing on wing. Not something you want to see on a trimaran, but we're wing on wing because I'm a bit lazy to put up the spinnaker, probably because we're going to have to turn across the wind in a bit. But look at this, absolutely lovely. So you've got trimmed nicely on the autopilot there, keeping control of everything. We're doing about 6-ish knots. We've got about a knot and a half helping us with current. Oh, wind's dropping. The wind has come from that side, then it's come from this side, back to that side, and now it's coming from directly behind us. Weird, look at it. Whoa. Flapping about, but I'm gonna see how much further we can get down here, and then we're gonna make somewhat of a jibe to get down past Portsmouth. So fingers crossed, really. I'm glad the sun's come back out because it was grey for a bit there. Look at that, dolphin pod in the Solent. What is this happening? Whoa! The streets feel alive. We're mixed with light. Ghosts down, blown down. And life shines back. Going fast, such a blast on a train, on a boat, on a plane. So good to feel the rush again. are just bobbing along now, doing almost 6 knots without any of the fancy sails up. We've come back round from wing on wing a bit. Wind spinning in a bit more, which is nice. We're kind of skirting down. That blue line is our course over ground. The black one is our heading. So you can see we're trying to skirt the edge because we've got some big chips coming in. And if I stick to this edge, I can dive into there anytime. The plan is to get down to here and then make a jibe to get into hailing, which is that right there. Rather than bombing straight down downwind, we'll go across it a bit. And we just had the dolphins jumping off of the bow, which is pretty epic. I haven't actually seen dolphins in the Solent itself before. I've seen them at Dolphin Bank out the front of the Needles, briefly. Didn't even get that on camera. But I've never seen them in the Solent themselves. They were obviously feeding because there's a bunch of seagulls above them over there. A couple of them came over to say hey, and just played around off the front, playing with the dinghy a bit. So that was cool to see. Right, the sun's gone away, the wind is dropping off. We're moving along about 3.5 knots now. We did get up to, I saw 7 briefly. We're just going across it. The entrance to hailing is just over there. We've literally gone as far as we can go. If I turn a bit, we go dead downwind. So what I'm gonna do is pull in the head sail, furl that up. I'll probably drop in the outboard once that's done. Head downwind possibly a bit. See if it'll help at all, the mainsail having it up, but if not, I'll just turn it into wind quickly and drop the main. So we are actually doing pretty good for speed, still doing 4 knots, and that's just with the main up now. I think we're just going to keep on bobbing along at this pace. I'm going to quickly drop in the outboard, get that set up, and by the time we get down there, I'll just spin it around, drop the main, and bring her into Wilson's, because we're going to Wilson's, drop off a bunch of stuff, fill up the water tanks, get rid of the rubbish, and then motor on down to Emsworth, get ready for Dan, who's coming a little bit later tonight. I'm all done with all the errands, filled up with a bit of water, so we've got plenty of water on board. Also went to the Jet petrol station, which is like a 10-15 minute walk, and got premium petrol, which you can't really get at marinas, I don't think. That's why I tried to stay away from it, because anything with ethanol in it is terrible in marine environments, because ethanol just absorbs water, and then things can grow in water, then your tank goes bad, and then your outboard doesn't run. And I've had that happen twice now, so I'm definitely not using it at all. So the plan is I'm going to untie from here. A little bit of a tricky position because we're getting blown onto the dock, so the wind's coming from directly over there and it's blowing us straight onto the dock, so I'll have to figure out how to do that one, and then turn around in this tight little space here, not much room at all. And then I'm going to head down to Emsworth to pick up Dan. Dan's had a delayed train, so who knows when he's going to get in. Anyway, that's enough waffle. Let's get down to Emsworth. Morning, sunshine. Morning. Right, we've just been chilling in Priory Bay. I just pulled anchor, heading off down to Cowes. Just had a bit of rain pass over, did a little bit of boat work, a bit of organising, and had a little bit of corrosion in one of the plugs for the wind vane. Working perfectly now, so I'm very happy with that. So I'll need that for the race to see what our apparent wind is, because it's very important on a trimaran. So let's get a wriggle on. Hello and welcome back. We've got 23, I've seen up to 28. We've got a little bit of handkerchief out. We're plodding along at 6 knots, which is plenty. And look at this hairstyle, absolutely flattering. Dan, flattering too. If you can hear me, that is. But yeah, just getting into Cowes now. We had a bit of rain, so I got a little bit wet, but we're cracking on. Just fling the fenders over the side of the rope. Please. Bosh.
Shall they come loose?
Yeah. It should be a very easy docking because the wind's blowing us on, so it should be very easy. Now we've got to walk it right up. Alright, I'll start slowing up a bit. Right, that's it for this episode, and I hope you'll join me in the next one in the Round the Island race. It was a spicy one with over 30 knots of wind at times and some wild waves to contend with. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.